Greetings, salutations, and welcome to today's video. As you will note, that is not our new build, that is our tree build behind me. But the story of our build starts here, because the reason why the tree build is where it is, because I wanted to see it from the desert build. So I got to thinking, what kind of build are we going to put together next? What kind of large grouping of structures do I think is appropriate for us to add to our setup? And well, see, we had this hill. And well, you might have, I think we've got some before footage that will roll. And so the before footage kind of shows that we have just a hill sitting here and it's half covered in sand. It's got some sand mountains, but it's got some potential. And so what I said is, there's this area that is going to be right here, moving over it now, that is in a really good position that I think if we just kind of smoothed it out, we could turn that into a pretty cool starter house. I'm like, okay, that's our build, but how are we going to do it? I was like, we could go low and then try to walk up into it, but I'll be honest, and let me turn back behind us. Can't really see it because of the gatehouse, but big stairs going up. We kind of had already done the stairs thing a lot. And so I'd rather go into more of a bridge entry. And so put together, what we've got here is our polished andesite structure. Let's go down and take a look at it from ground level. It's gone through some interesting iterations. So first thing I did is we just kind of laid the central bits. It's 4 blocks wide, but the central 2, just kind of laid those across and went, we're going to come in at about here. About this far up. Let's just draw a line over to where we meet the ground. Alright, got it. Now let's start fiddling with what we can do. And so messed with stairs, slabs, and this is ultimately what came with the conclusion. Got the stairs shroom lights, banners. So I played around with a couple different colors, so you may see purple banners in some of the pre-screenshots. But what we've done is the bottom layer, the layer you walk on, is just these 2 sets of andesite. Nothing extra, super fancy, just polished andesite blocks all the way across. Then to give it a little bit of a slope, we just have slabs across the bottom, as far as the eye can see. The top, though, we've got a little staggered thing going on with the stairs built around the shroom lights. Using shroom light because I think it goes very well with the orange, and orange goes very well with blue, and blue goes very well with andesite. So I kind of felt forced into the color choices. Also, with the lava light that is present on both structures, the orange goes well with that as well. The structure itself was more just, I want to see how many cool different ways I can place stairs. And so we've got just a mess of stairs here where creating these weird windows that happen, but they're on the block line because the stairs are reaching around the sides. Honestly, had a little bit too much fun building this. It's quite enjoyable. I'm really curious if I got into an elytra, if I could fly through them. Because I know you can fly through a single block if you're careful, but what about a block that's set? It would be fun. I think this is a fun little build, and honestly, just enjoyed it. The gatehouse, it's nothing overly fancy. Haven't even built anything out, just kind of terminated it, same that we've done with the other builds. But it's got a little bit of the stairs messing with it. Little gap in the top for lava, which serves to light up the top and prevent things from spawning, but also with the glass serves to light up underneath. And since we're getting a thunderstorm here, that is a perfect opportunity for us to A, see how beautiful the lighting is, but B, go ahead and enter us into our main build. Now, I've not done any lighting on the dirt up above. We will be getting to that when we start putting in the structures. Mountain-wise, I would honestly say it's only done maybe about the third of the way back on the structure. I have plans to put in a... I even see a block that's wrong. fine. Everything is fine. You saw nothing. Nothing was seen here today. But, so, back up behind the structure right about in here, I expect us to be putting in a tower, where we can start, again, kind of using what exists, but building upon it. But alright, I said we were going inside. Oh, I mentioned sand. That half of it was covered in sand. You will see that I've done a bit of work to replace the sand with dirt. I just really felt, as it was presented, the setup didn't really work. And so converting the entire face of the mountain to dirt just makes it look more natural, makes it look more cohesive, makes it look more carved out than would otherwise be the case. Also, there is a sand mountain here that we have ample footage of, let's just say, conga lines of TNT and mass land removal. It was fun. There was a lot of stuff that needed done, a lot of stuff that needed removed, and it took me despite being creative, I'd say it took me about hour and 15 minutes just to do the outside work, whereas the entire rest of the structure itself took me maybe an hour. So spent as much time doing the exterior as we did the interior. Now for the interior, opted for iron doors because I tend to have a lot of villagers around, and villagers can't open iron doors. And that becomes a premium when you're trying to tell the villagers, this is not your house, go away. So I also think it fits very well with the setup here. We could have gone for dark oak and I think it would have been fine, should we have wanted to use a wood. Opted for dark oak buttons. So when we come in, we've gone with a starter house setup that admittedly is a little wealthier than any of our other starter houses. We've already started with a full storage setup, bunch of different crafting tables, we've got carpet. For the floor, opted to go with the andesite. I think it gives a much better texture than just the raw stone does, and I think given that we're treating andesite as the stone, it gives us a really good, more stone feel than the traditional Minecraft stone. Which, by the way, ooh, beautiful lightning strike there. Really like that. Now the windows, as you see, we've got a bunch over to this side. I intend to maybe put some decorations and gardens over out here, just to kind of give us something to look at besides just the, hey look, just some Minecraft landscape. But we'll see. It is nice to note that that is the sunrise, as these windows point east and these windows over here point west. The sun sets right by that poppy. Well, looks like a squid met his end down there. Also provides a decent view of the sand build. Once we get to the tower, we'll have a better view of the trees, because right now the bridge gets in the way. But, so the construction method we used for clearing this out, I kind of just started on the outside and said, alright, here are going to be the walls, outline stuff, put the glass panes in, then punched through right where the doors were, and then just kind of expanded to fill it, and then just pushed back far enough to where I was like, okay, these windows fit about here, that gives us that much room, right, so we'll end there, and that'll be our quote-unquote starter house, quote-unquote first room. Now that'll end up leading back to the other rooms we're going to build, but just getting a little interior wall and some separation. Chose to continue the blue banner by putting blue carpet. I think it mixes very well with the andesite, and I think it goes very well with our roof. Now the roof is why I say that this is a expensive starter home. A, because there's redstone lamps. Those aren't exactly starter material, but the roof itself honestly isn't that bad. So you may have already guessed what it is, but it's smithing tables. And the reason it's not that bad is because it's just, alright, it's the equivalent of using 1 log and 2 iron ingots per space of roof. And when you just kind of start expanding that out, I mean, it's not, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 130 plus 26, 156. Okay, that's actually a lot of iron. Because then it's 156 times 2. 312, if my math is right. 312 iron ingots in the roof. But in one of the hardcore worlds that we streamed, we just finished doing an entire roof with furnaces. The sheer amount of cobble and materials that requires. When I start thinking about, oh yeah, just 1 log and 2 iron ingots, it's comparably okay. But I think it gives us a really nice color. I like using some of these non-standard blocks as roof just because they've got interesting textures on the bottom. And we'll probably continue to use stuff like that as we expand the build. But with that said, let's go ahead, we can stand in this corner. Yeah. There's our starter build. Starter mountain build? Is that what we're gonna call it? We'll call it that, our starter mountain build. Or, let's check. What is the biome? What is the biome technically? Plateau. Okay. So yeah, I kinda like it. Starter plateau build. That's what we're gonna call it. That's the biome. So, I look forward to expanding this. I look forward to getting more into the nitty-gritty of how we can do other underground rooms, but really gonna try to keep the aesthetic we've got, where we've got the windows at the edge. We're kind of building as if the plateau itself were our structure. Does mean we're gonna do a lot of hollowing out. So if you're going to be doing a build like this in survival, yeah, get diamond. As someone who's done lots of underground builds, get diamond, get it enchanted, or get iron and get ready to burn more iron than you'll use in the roof in pickaxes excavating everything. But until next time, best of vibes to you. Know that we care about you, and hope to see you again here next week. Best of vibes. Good night. Oh, and yes. Cat. He's a kitty. Where you going, kitty? Where you going? You can't go outside. It's raining. Kitty doesn't want to go out in the rain. You wanna go lay on the bed? Come on, kitty. Come on. Oh, come on. Rude kitty. Rudest of kitties. Kitty sit. Oh, kitty is not tamed. This is our problem. Alright. There we go. Is a kitty. Meow. Meow, meow.